Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because if you're a parent, you want to have your child in this one. This one is going to be the most impactful interview I have done to date. I guarantee you. And the reason is I have brought to you a friend, a client, somebody that I truly honor because he has had such a huge impact on my life as I've walked this journey of personal finance. I met Larry when he was only 19 years old. I will not go any further, but please share this video, watch it with your family because it's going to be completely transformative. Larry Liza is a client that I met at the beginning of my career. I was in my early 20s and he came to Faida Investment Bank. And for some reason, the receptionist called me. She just said, okay, he's a young guy, so let me get the youngest on the team to deal with this one. And when Larry came, he came and said, I am so excited. I have 19,000 shillings that I got from HELB, or rather the balance of the money that I got from HELB, which was 19,000 shillings. I want to invest it in the stock market. Can you help me? And that's where the story begins. And so I'll not go any further because Larry has since grown so much and taught me so many things. And he's right here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Rina.
The questions I have had to answer every single time I'm somewhere. I talk about Larry.
Thank you.
I may not share your name,
yeah,
but you have been such an inspiration. And the questions are, how has he done it? How can I do it? Which investment option is that one that Larry,
that Larry does?
that Larry does, and how can I take advantage of it? So I thought, you know what, if I just have this conversation with you, we will learn a lot.
Yeah, you let the cat out of the bag,
literally. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Rina. It's a pleasure to be here.
So we're going to start from the beginning. When you came and sat at my desk, you had said that your mom had passed away the year before.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because even now as I think back, I'm like, when something like that happens to a teen, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And there's so much heartbreak and so much trauma and so much fear that comes from losing a parent. She was, I think, a single parent.
Yes, yeah.
So maybe just walk us through that. Yeah. And how do you move from, you know, losing a parent to taking charge of your finances at only 19? And maybe you didn't start at 19, so tell us from the beginning.
Thank you so much, Rina. That is an incredible introduction. I am happy to share my story for two main reasons. One, in order to help anyone else who is there unaware of where to start or how to begin, as well as the person who is already in it, to give them hope in hopelessness, to give them courage, to let them advance the vision that they have. And two, because of you, I am because you are. When I walked into your office 20-something years ago, I was just a young boy, but I'd gone through a very difficult phase. My mom was a single parent. We were 4 children, and we struggled a lot. We lived in the slums in Kisumu, and life was tough, even for her. The little money she had, she ensured that she used it for our education. And so food did not come very easy. We actually ate meat twice a year and chicken once a year. Usually what my mom would do, she would bring all our birthdays together, spread through the year to April, my younger brother Ronnie's birthday, because he was the last born, or he's the last born. And then our birthdays would be celebrated all at once. And at that time, that was the one time we could eat meat. The other time was Christmas, and then Easter, maybe chicken or meat, if we were lucky. Occasionally, we ate fish. I grew up in slums in Kisumu called Nyalenda. And after finishing my 4th form at Kanga High School, at about the same time, my younger brother Ronnie had finished his primary school, and he had been called to a national school, Maseno. But my mom didn't have money for school fees. She had saved just a little bit, enough to buy the necessities and maybe to get him into school. At about that time, she got sick, and she was admitted to one of the district hospitals in Kisumu. And so she wasn't in a position to take my younger brother, Ronnie, to school. And my cousin called Florence was then asked to take her to school. At that time as well, it was most banking processes were manual. So my mother needed to sign a withdrawal sheet for the school. And yet she couldn't go to the bank because she was unwell. And the hospital gave us a temporary discharge from the Kisumu District Hospital to the bank, which was probably 2 kilometers away. And we didn't even have a car. We couldn't even afford a car to take her to hospital. So we looked for a bike from her sick bed to hospital. But turns out one of our friends just popped by to see her, and he had a car. So mommy was discharged from hospital, went and signed some money and withdrew some cash that enabled my brother to go to school. So she was in hospital, and when my cousin Florence came back to Kisumu, she went to visit her. And she asked my mother asked her, how was it? How was school? Was Ronnie excited? And she said, yeah, what did they say about the school fees? Because we didn't have everything. And she told my mom that they admitted him, but they said we need to bring back the fee within a month. Then my mother said, if Ronnie was happy, then I am happy. And she closed her eyes. And that's how my mother passed on. It was later the tests or the post-mortem indicated cardiopulmonary arrest, which in simple terms is heart attack. And so my mother left us. And we were 4. My elder siblings were not in Kisumu at that time. They were hustling. So I was home alone with her. And that's how I was left an orphan. So I needed to fend for myself. A week after that, my results came. That for me was my biggest regret, because my mother had always hoped and believed that I would get an A or an A minus, at worst a B plus. So I met that vision and dream. So I really felt sad that she wasn't there to celebrate. And there was nothing literally to celebrate, because this was the most important woman in my life. And so she was gone, you know. And so I was left an orphan after the funeral. Ronnie in school, my elder siblings were not well off financially, and I needed to work, you know. So I looked for a job. I think the first job I did, my cousin Florence helped me get a job in a bakery.
And so you were 18 at this time?
I was 18, yeah, to get a job in a bakery. So I started working in that bakery, and it was still hard because we were being paid 110 shillings a day. So I would walk all the way from Nyalenda slums to downtown Kisumu, I don't know how many kilometers, and then back home in the evening. But I would save the money that I would earn. I would use a little bit for food and a little bit for savings for the future, because I knew I needed to pay Ronnie's school fees.
So who were you staying with?
I was staying alone. She had left us in the house.
And where was Ronnie?
Ronnie was now in school, in boarding school, Maseno school.
And the other 2 siblings?
My other 2, my brother was working in Nairobi, hustling in Nairobi, and my sister was hustling in Migori. Okay. She was working for a dentist. So I was all alone in the house. So I knew I needed to raise rent for the house, I needed to raise school fees, and I was earning 110 shillings. So what then happened was I had to reduce on my eating, and I worked in a bakery. And so we would be given a loaf of bread, 3 of us, and you are laborers, manual laborers, so that we had a trick to ensure that we got full. So we would eat the bread hot and make sure you don't chew, so you swallow most of it. So within minutes you are bloated. So that was our way of feeling full. So that could help us move through the day. And sometimes in the night, I then slept hungry, or, you could buy the little fish omena or ugali na mboga and survive. Then I got sacked.
Why?
the proprietor came and said, Wewe, uko very brilliant. You are going to, I don't know what he said, but it was in relation to, you're going to incite my people. Yeah, and so I was sacked. So after I was
What
sacked...
had you done? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have come to the place where you want to either begin your journey with investing or continue, and you want to be able to be consistent and you need guidance and you want to be able to invest consistently, there's numbers on the screen. There's actually one number on the screen, 0759 777 666. Send a WhatsApp message and somebody on our team will get in touch with you. Whether it's stocks or shares, you want to invest in bonds, you want to invest in treasury bills, you want to be able to start your journey in the Oaks Special Fund, whatever that is. And even if you're not too sure where to start, we shall help you. 0759 777 666. Send a WhatsApp message and we will be in touch with you. Whether it is nighttime, daytime, weekend, don't worry. Just send a WhatsApp message. Thank you so much and God bless you. Bye-bye.